Hey, are you someone who is worrying about something all the time? And if that's the case, I have an amazing technique that you could try, and hopefully it will wipe out all of those worries for you. It's very simple but very effective, and I use this technique all the time with my patients. I work as a psychotherapist and I use it on myself as well. When I find myself maybe having a bit of an off day, I might be ruminating about something, it always works wonders. In order to understand why this technique works so well, I suppose we may need to kind of review what makes us worry so much. Or that's not the right question actually. What happens when we worry? So what tends to happen is that when we worry, we're not actually present in the moment. We tend to be living in some future scenario, right? So all these what if scenarios, what if this happens, what if that happens, all these potential things that could possibly go wrong. Or that when we are ruminating, sometimes we might be going back over the events that is already done and dusted, and there's absolutely nothing you can do, but you're just going over them, and it's such a pointless activity. So what this activity does is actually called grounding, or maybe attention focusing, is that brings our attention back to the present moment. Okay, so we're going to do this by using 5 of our senses. At the moment, I think I might just go with 3 senses, but you will get the idea, and you can implement this anytime, anywhere, very discreetly, just to bring yourself back to the present moment. Are you ready? Okay. What I would like you to do, look around the room and name 5 objects out loud. But before you go, I would like you to also notice the details of these objects. So, for example, as you can see, there's a like a white book with like some dark green writing, and there's like a little logo. I can see it very little from the camera angle, but I'm actually looking at the details. I'm actually trying to work out maybe what the book says. So I'm not just kind of saying a book, right? I am actually going for a white book with like a round looking symbol with some writings on it. It looks kind of thick. So I'm just kind of going for the details. So go ahead and do that now. If you need to pause the video, please do so. Name 5 objects with its details. And then when you're done, come back. So now the second thing I would like you to do is touch 3 objects. But this time, we touch things all the time, right? You touch your hair, you touch your skin, you touch the chair. But this time, I would actually really want you to pay attention how the texture feels, okay? So for example, I'm touching my hair and I can kind of feel the hairband. I can kind of feel that it's kind of soft. Maybe it's a little bit dry at the tips. So kind of like really pay attention like how it feels underneath your hands, like in your fingertips. When you've done that, come back. So now what I would like you to do, go ahead and find 3 things that you can smell. Whether it's a candle, whether it's a coffee, whether it's a perfume, just go find 3 different smells and just kind of really savor the smell. Like not just like, okay, this smells of coffee, but actually just reconnect again with how coffee actually smells, how your perfume actually smells. Because we go through the day usually just fast and we're always rushing and we don't actually pay attention. So this is an exercise for you to start paying a little bit more attention to all these things that I'm bringing your attention to. So when you're done, come back to the video. Okay. And just like anything else, it takes a little bit of practice. So the purpose of this is to bring your focus and attention back to the present moment, because this is the only moment you've got, okay? So when you worrying, as again, you're thinking about some future scenario, go into this grounding technique. And you could use your other senses as well. So you could maybe taste an object, not an object, hopefully maybe some piece of chocolate or like a satsuma or whatever it might be, and you could also focus on some things that you might hear. Maybe you might kind of turn on